Hey everybody, I just wanted to share with you a record of me building a 1x12 guitar cab in case you are thinking of ever embarking on a project like this. This is a prototype. I was going to build a 4x12, but I decided to build this first and use it as a prototype so I would use it to make all my rookie mistakes. As you can see, I'm using 1/2-inch plywood, which is a bit of an overkill for this type of thing. It's solid. It's a little bit heavier than a normal speaker cabinet, but it's very, as I said, it's very solid. I count that as a strength, and it gets rid of a lot of unpleasant resonances and vibrations you might get. So I cut the wood, screwed it together with wood screws, did not use nails anywhere on this project so that it's adhered together better, and sanded it and wiped away all the sawdust, and then applied primer and then paint. I used a glossy paint, which was an experiment. Some people like it, some people don't, but that's what I did, and applied it with a roller. I designed it to be an open back that is convertible to a closed back cab. So you've got a removable panel at the back where you apply the panel and then it closes off the opening at the back so you can convert it. And this is good because when I tested it at the end as an open back, it sounded very paper thin, not a lot of bass. It was a bit of a problem. So I ended up putting in the optional panel and making it a closed back, and then it sounded good. It had a nice balance of bass in there. I used the Greenback 25 speaker. In my opinion, the Vintage 30 and the Greenback 25 are the two best guitar speakers of all time. That's just my opinion based on having played through many, many speakers. Here's my first attempt at applying Tolex. And as you can see, I used way too much glue, way too much of the contact cement. But the cool thing was that even though you had a longer curing time for the contact cement, it worked out fine and you got a good result. The great thing about the contact cement is that if you do get it everywhere, if you wait for it to dry, you can just rub it off and it comes off completely without any mess, without any fuss, and you get a great result. So it's very forgiving. Here I am about to apply more of the Tolex, and once again, using way too much of the contact cement. Up to this point, the project is going really well. No major screw-ups. Everything is going according to plan. I painted the inside of the cabinet black because if it was being used as an open back cab, you can still see inside. So that's why I did that, and I don't regret it. I did, however, forget to paint the reverse side of the speaker baffle. So had I done that, it would have looked better. But here's the final result of the Tolex. You can see there's some ripples and some imperfections there. And the corners are going to be, it's going to be hidden with hardware, so I'm not too concerned about that. Here's the second big screw up apart from the Tolex, applying the white piping. It's supposed to be stapled, and instead I used screws to apply it, not knowing what I was doing. It looks absolutely terrible, as you can see. But once again, it's just an aesthetic element. That's what prototypes are for, as long as the thing, sounds and works fine at the end. That's the main thing. I did decide to use these side handles, which you would normally apply on a larger cab, instead of the grab handle from the top. Just basically, once again, trying to use it as a prototype to build a 4x12. As you can see bare wood on the inside, so if you do use it as an open back cab, you can see the wood. That should have been painted black. Here I'm trying to make sure the polarity of the speaker is correct. You might not think it's important when you've only got a single speaker in your cabinet, but if you're using multiple cabinets, then you're going to run into phase issues if things aren't, you don't have the polarity correct. So just cleaning it up, and now it's time to apply hardware. As you can see, I've used some of the corners and other things. They're recycled used Ampeg parts. I did apply some very large wheels to it because I wanted it to actually roll on every type of surface, unlike a lot of cabinets that have been manufactured by actual legitimate amp companies. These are a pair of Marshall skid plates. And as you can see here, the dimensions of this 1x12 cab I'm building are the same. It's the same footprint as the 100-watt Marshall Valvestate head, for what that's worth. I had the head, so you can pair them up together, and it looks like they sort of go together. Here I'm applying a few optional accessories, like the nameplate. You can really see that glossy paint, and the rubber caps for the bolts, and some optional accessories there to try and make it look at least semi-professional. Basically, here is the final result, and I'm happy with it for what it is. It's pretty good for a prototype. Check out the next video I'll have coming out soon, which will be using this cabinet in my attic space to see how it sounds when you use the attic space as a reverb chamber / amp isolation closet. Anyway, check that out. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome.